Hello everyone, today I am back at the Chuck E. Cheese Legacy location on Pineville-Matthews Rd in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have not been here since March, so I'm excited to go back in and see their store once more and see the 3-stage for the very first time during the holidays. Alright guys, well here we are once again in the Pineville, North Carolina Legacy Store showroom. Now, if you've never seen any videos here at Pineville, just a little explanation. This is a legacy store. They have the standard 2.0 remodel throughout pretty much the entire store, except they still have their animatronics show, which is the 3-stage, the last one in the world. This stage has been here for 43 years. It first performed as the Rocket-Fire Explosion from 1982 until 1991, and then it turned into Munch's Make-Believe Band, and that's how it has been ever since. In 2024, this became a legacy store, and the stage is still here to this day. A couple observations right off the bat is you can see the curtains are closed. They are still working. Now, when I came in March, that was just weeks after they got them working initially, and they have still held on, which is great to see. You can also see they have recently added their Christmas decorations. You can see some snow there on the stage. Some of it fell down. I'm not sure what else they have on there, but they definitely have that. And then they have Christmas lights all throughout the showroom here on the stage, and then going up here, and then it plugs in up there into the Gemini outlet, since they still do not have their Gemini light. So they have the Christmas lights which plug in instead. Video walls over here, same as before, and then over here they also still have their Riser Room sign, which is awesome to see. This is one of the 2000 signs. Over here to the left of the showroom, of course, they have the Retro Room. So I'll just do a quick look through here, so you can see everything they have. Here's the tokens over time thing. They still have not added any 2019 token. That spot is still blank. Love this sign. They have the Chuck E. Cheese throughout the year's timeline. Of course, there's a couple mistakes on it. That's 1997, or that's what it should be. Of course, this is a stock image. It's not actually Pineville. I'm not sure if anything else is incorrect. Not that I can tell off the top of my head. There's that photo ride statue. The wooden thumb chuck. Pizza delivery car, which is awesome. Here's the biggest change that has happened since the last time I was here. Check this out, guys. We have a Studio C Alpha bird right here. What an awesome addition. This is from Spartanburg, South Carolina, from when they got their 2.0 in 2024. Just in the last few months, I believe it was over the summer, they added their bird into here. So it's great, and they even have the shelf too. So just a great to see a piece of another stage type here in the Retro Room. And the plush there, there's the Showbiz cup. I believe a lot of this stuff was donated. I just found one of those action figures at Rockstar action figures at an antique store, so I do have one of those now. The Big C tickets, just a lot of awesome stuff. One of the token cups in there with some tokens, and there's some other cups as well. Over here is the trolley car, of course. The lights still work on it, which is great. Munch scuba diving, Elvis, Kids with Chucky from Pineville Showroom, Toddler Town, 500th store. 4 of the PTT guest stars. Of course, none of these guys were ever here since this was a Showbiz Pizza. Then they also have the Chuck E. Cheese's coloring book, and then 2 of the awesome magazine covers. I've seen these at a few of the Phase 3 stores. Even though this collection's a little random, it is nice seeing a nod to Chuck E. Cheese's past here at Pineville. Alright guys, it is showtime. I am so excited. It has been so long since I've seen this, and I am so ready. Here we go. Man, those speakers down there work great. It is loud in here, which is so refreshing.
Favorite time of year, and I Not all birds fly south, Chucky. It's true, I don't like the cold. But nothing is more beautiful than snow. Just listen. Dreaming white and see it falling all around. The Christmas lights make it sparkle on the ground. Is it gonna happen? We'll just have to wait and see. I'm hoping that it doesn't miss us, 'cause I'm just wishing for a white Christmas. So all I really know, all I want for Christmas is snow. All I really know, all I want for Christmas is snow. Maybe a shovel.
All right, guys, well, I just saw the show, and in my opinion, it is still excellent. I did notice some changes, some I liked, some I'm not the biggest fan of. I'll talk about that real quick. The biggest change I noticed is that it seems like they turned up the air pressure on the entire show. All of the movements seemed much quicker than they did last time, which is really nice to see. You know, some of the movements like Munch's arms, Pasquale's arms, and Jasper's leg kick especially were all very slow. They're supposed to be very animated on these animatronics, and they just weren't previously. I remember hearing that the reason they didn't do that on Pasquale is because of the welds on his arms, so I'm not sure if they replaced the arms or what they did with that, or I don't know what they did, but they have them much faster now, which looks very good. Definitely the best Pasquale has drummed at Pineville since at least 2021. Also, as I said at the beginning of the show, the speakers down here were fixed since my last visit. They sound great. For some reason, they got very quiet towards the end of the show, like with about 15 seconds left, and everybody thought it was over. They all started clapping when it got real quiet, even though it was still going. But they might have just turned down the volume for the entire store. I'm not really sure about that. A couple pretty big cosmetic changes happened since my last visit. First of all, Munch's hat was repainted. I'm not a big fan of how it looks. It was an unnecessary change. I thought it looked good before. And then the other change was over here. Now, I'm sure everyone remembers over the summer, Chucky's mask was taken off, and it was replaced by the mask from Greensboro, North Carolina's 3-stage. That was removed in, I believe, 2022, and they got the mask here. And they put that on, and they took Pineville's plastic mask that was on it before off. And then Greensboro's mask was on for a couple weeks, and then Pineville's mask returned, and it had just this horrendous red paint job. It was just, you know, he looked like he was sunburnt, and it just did not look good at all. And I think Pineville even realized that it didn't look good, so a couple weeks later, Greensboro's mask returned. However, it was also repainted. Now, it was not as bad as Pineville's. It's what's still on the bot to this day. And it was not as bad as the first time, but it was still, once again, an unnecessary change. So both of the big cosmetic changes since last time, both unnecessary. Still, in my opinion, the pros massively outweigh the cons with this stage. I'm still so glad it's here. I know I'm beating a dead horse a little bit, but I just really wish more of these still existed. The people here in the showroom today, when I'm here, they all love the show, and I really wish more people from around the country got to experience this still. I really cherish every moment I get to spend in front of this stage, because you never know when it's going to be the last time. Now, I did just make a full tour not that long ago in March, so I'm just going to take a quick walk through and point out any changes I noticed right off the bat. They do still have token action here, so here is Soccer Fortune. Nice to still see token action. Of course, here they have the Avenger Sketchbook, Winner's Toggle, Avenger Pop-It for gold. They also have the Rockstar Ticket Blaster. I believe they got that during 2.0. They have 5 alley rollers over here. There's Wonderland, another token game. Another one, SpongeBob, right there. Of course, in 2026, I'll come back and make a new tour in full. Avenger Chuck Red Hot. Here's one thing that has changed. They moved Kooky Carnival to the front of the store. This used to be back closer to the showroom, and now it's here pretty close to the front. So that's different. Vendor's Coin Pusher, Puller Slide. Up here they have All You Can Play, Chuck E. Cheese Word Mark, Chuck E. Cheese's Rainbow right here, and Spider Bot. Hammer 2, there he is. Chuck E. Cheese Fun Photo Booth. And then of course down the ramp here, or down the stairs, your choice, they have the kiddie ride area. They do still have the hot cocoa ride right here. They have the large trampoline zone still. However, they did add the superhero playground since my last visit. And then another change is they no longer have the camera on the photo ride here. They had it last time because they do have a sketchbook. And then they have Rockstar here, Rockstar there, and in the back. And then of course over here, Dog Pounder, Astro Invasion, Bike Rally, Cheeky Monkey, and Giraffe Play. Of course, Pineville didn't just decorate their stage, they also decorated their salad bar here. Great to see the store put in effort like this to spruce up their store for the holidays. Check this out, guys. Pasquale's getting decorations. I think today was the first day for that. But making the stage look really festive. It looks great.
It is the right season, I don't need a reason to build a man that's made out of snow. And I say, oh, oh, baby, you know, oh, oh. The snow is falling, I can hear it calling when the wind begins to blow. And I said, oh, oh, baby, let's go, oh, oh. Take my hand, let's go make a man out of snow. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
The other thing I noticed when I was watching the show is that Pizza Cam doesn't lift up as high as he used to. I have no idea why, but I thought that was strange. I did get to see Jasper Snowman, which was awesome. I remember expressing how disappointed I was last year when that song was not part of the show tape or as a fireable. Whoever decided that Snowman should not be programmed here at corporate needs to be fired. That makes absolutely zero sense to me. I can't stand these people sometimes. And if you guys remember from my last video, I talked about how the TV topper and the neon sign were plugged into the wrong outlets. They did switch that after I posted that video. So I was very happy to see that as well. I really like their Christmas decorations this year. They got the snow and the trees and all that kind of stuff. And it is nice seeing the Christmas lights instead of the Geminis. They don't have that.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Well, I closed the place out, but that's okay. It was a lot of fun. All right, everyone, well, that's going to conclude my visits to Pineville for the 2025 calendar year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I got to see the two songs I mainly wanted to see, which was very great. Of course, Pineville's a great spot. If you're an animatronic fan, I highly recommend coming out here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.